And so it begins. This is unbelievably silly, and one should not do this. But we're against the Lee Aphelios deck, so we kind of have to start the stupidity now. Hello everyone, Gomez here for the LAN Up channel again. Another deck for you today. This one was actually inspired by another creator. So Shane from Twin Sons podcast made this kind of deck and posted it on Twitter and whatnot. I loved it so much that I decided to kind of mess around with it. So let's get into the Flying Death deck. So yes, this is the Flying Death deck. As I said, it was actually inspired by Shane from Twin Sons podcast. If you've not checked out the Twin Sons podcast, make sure you do. It's an amazing Legends of Runeterra podcast, and he's a really good creator. This is something that he posted on Twitter, and it was the concept of the fact that the flight, when paired with Ephemeral, so you can give it Ephemeral through Mark of the Isles, Fading Memories, or what you call it, the more funny Encroaching Shadows. The flight works in that it does a Nexus Strike, which the Nexus Strike takes precedent over the Ephemeral effect. So it hits in and cycles back into your deck before the Ephemeralness has a chance to kill it, is basically how this deck works. So it's a bit the same as how Katarina works with Ephemeral, that if she strikes in before, she would go back into your hand basically before dying. So that's what we're working with here. This is the concept that we're working with this deck. Because we're working with a lot of because we're working with a lot of Ephemerals, and obviously we are running Encroaching Shadows, we're running Hecarim, and we're running Kalista in this deck. The lovely thing is that we've got Harrowing, so even if you do give Encroaching Shadows and give Hecarim Ephemeral, he can, number one, buff himself, but obviously anything that happens after him is not going to be getting that buff. But number two, Harrowing's going to be bringing him back anyway, so it's kind of okay on that front, because obviously you can play Harrowing technically from turn 6 if you've got the mana, but if you've played Hecarim, because you can actually get Hecarim out cheaper by using a Oblivious Islander, but that's just if you can get that out. But it's possible obviously to use Harrowing from turn 6 if you've got full mana. So what we're doing here is we're using Fading Memories to make copies of the flight, because the flight is actually a draw mechanic. It's going to be drawing itself sometimes, but that doesn't matter because we don't mind it doing that, because it becomes our nice cycling through things here. We've got a couple of onlookers because they've got really good aggressive attack stats if need be, and especially if you use even Fading Memories on one of them to be able to get out more things. Obviously it's all situational, right? I am running 3 copies of Gifts Beyond, which definitely you can change this around. The reason why I'm running 3 copies of Gifts Beyond is because I'm working for trying to, it's obviously situational, depending on what my opponent's playing, if I need to stun something or if I need to give myself Overwhelm or Lifesteal or Finishing. But its main purpose is actually Crescendum, which is the 2-cost one, because the only 2 cost that I'm running in this deck is Chariot Shark. Because I've got a lot of Ephemeral stuff working, I want to be trying to get that out as quickly as possible, and so Gifts Beyond can help me get that out if I don't start with this in my opening hand, as well as the fact that obviously, like I said, it gives me different options depending on what's going on. We've got a little bit of draw going through Glimpse, we've got a little bit of draw going through Stalking Shadows, and obviously Stalking Shadows, you're trying to get more flights, especially if you've used Encroaching Shadows, that flight goes up to a 4-3. 4-3? Yes, no, yes. So it's just increased damage and whatnot. Obviously, once it cycles itself back into your deck, it loses the Ephemeral and the buff, but it then just becomes your cycle thing. It's all about just trying to smash in as much damage as possible. We've got a couple of Unspeakable Horrors for counter against Zoe and Teemo, as well as we've got the Dark Water Scourge, which is working, that it's giving you lifesteal. If Kalista levels, you can continuously bring that back to give you more and more lifesteal, as well as that obviously with Encroaching Shadows, that goes up to a 7/7, so even more lifesteal, and everything's coming back with Harrowing anyway. It's a silly deck, but it's a really funny deck, and that is what I enjoy. I enjoy any kind of deck that works off of the kind of meme thing, any meme-y type thing. So anyway, please let me know what you think about this deck down in the comment section down below. As well as remember, shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. All the games you're going to be seeing were streamed. So if you want to check it out live or catch the action live, I'm live on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, UK time. So if you want to check that out, please feel free to. As well as that, there is a Discord link down below. We're obviously talking about all the new cards and the insanity. This is shaping up to be a magnificent set, by the way. So if you want to get in the Discord and start talking about that, you can do. As well as the fact that there is Legends of Runeterra merchandise that I got a graphic artist to do, to come up with the ideas that I had in my head to design them on Fimji. So if you want to check those things out, you can do, but do not feel forced. Just thank you all so much for the support that I've been getting. I shall see you on the other end of this. Let's see how this deck did on stream. Lee and Aphelios. It's okay. Okay, we've actually top decked though. I can live with this top decking, you know. Okay. But I was thinking, do I keep Unspeakable Horror at this point? What am I going to be targeting from that deck with Unspeakable Horror at the moment? Probably nothing. I'll accept these. Ah! Even more one cost things. Okay. So I'm just going to immediately go aggressive in. I'm going to go immediately aggressive under the radar in on them and then start getting the Chariot Shot going. I need to hope that I now get a Stalking Shadows, because Stalking Shadows would just basically mean I can get those flights on Ephemeral and start kicking some ass with that. So that'd be the plan. So, all the goat men. So part of me's thinking, do I play you? I'm going to play this purely to defend myself against the goat, because so that this kind of is a deterrent for them attacking forward with the goat. Because I don't mind taking that 2 damage. It was the gem that they could have got off of that to help Lee that I more care about. So I don't honestly care about that little tiny point of damage. So can throw the other flight out. Can throw Chariot Shark out so I can start letting that ephemeralness start to sink in, which is quite nice. Let's start letting the ephemeralness sink in. We've got the potential running Hapless just so I can defend myself on the board. So as much as he wants to play another flight, I feel like I'm going to throw Hapless down after this just so I have something else on the board to defend myself with. So we accept that. We accept the charges. Ah, the Darkwater Scourge. Excellent. Exactly what I was hoping for. So I might actually do. Am I going to be that guy who's? I mean, we wait and see what my opponent does, but potentially the Encroaching Shadows move. Potentially the Encroaching Shadows move. Okay. Oh, they don't. I was honestly expecting like a. So, okay. And so it begins. This is unbelievably silly. And one should not do this, but we're against the Lee Aphelios deck, so we kind of have to start the stupidity now. We have to start the stupidity now. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry about this. This is perfectly fine. We could even throw the Hapless out at this point because like it's gonna die and make a spider. So it's another threat of damage, but then also it gives me a unit that can defend itself. Potential hush moves. So there's obviously the potential for like a hush moves to kind of like get rid of these things and whatnot. But okay, see, there's a stun. Which is a shame, because then that means that you will not be coming back into my deck. But at least you go back into my deck, and I've got Stalking Shadows to pick you back up again. This is absolutely fine. This is absolutely fine. Oh, the rain! I was not even paying attention. Tippy, you lovely man. Tippy Tops. Oh, Tippy Tips. For anyone who doesn't know, Tippy Tips is an amazing Legends of Runeterra streamer. If you've not checked them out, make sure you do. But my friend, how are you doing? Okay, so I know that I haven't got the flight. Oh, there's the flight. Look at how big of using Encroaching Shadows. Oh my god, the flights are like. We now wait under cover of. Okay. Because they've already used, so potential hush. I throw the little Spider-Man in front of this. I also throw, like, at this point, I don't actually give a shit about that Mentor of the Stones, because all it's going to be doing is helping give him, you know what? Ignore him. We've got an elusive plan going on here. He's meaningless in the grand scheme of things. I'm going to throw this flight out because this one's the only one who's not ephemeral because he's already got cycled back in. So, for those of you who don't know, a lovely creator like Shane from what is it called, the Twin Sons podcast, posted a similar deck to this on Twitter, and it was all about the fact that there is this concept that the flight, once it hits in, it actually cycles back into your deck before the ephemeral takes effect and kills it. So it's one of these things where it's insanely funny because of the fact that literally it's going to cycle itself back. I can even, I don't even need to play that at this point, because at this point it's like, sod it. Like I can live with that, with those decisions. So we play this. So what you'll see is the ephemeral flights will hit in and cycle back into our deck. I mean, obviously our opponent can use hush and things that will make problems for me, I'm sure. But it's fine. I can live with this, hopefully. He says hopingly that I can live with this. There we go. Okay, so they've hushed one of them, but one still remains. I can sacrifice that. I mean, technically I can stop the I can stop that from getting an effect so that he gets those gems back. Because let's face it, I wanna be stalling their Lee as much as I can. So, haha, fair play, Yugi, fair play. Achoo! Fairly early and welcome! So yeah, so that's cycled back into our deck instead of dying, and now it comes back out like that. So the ability of making more like flights is just what this whole deck is all about, and like, you know, the stupidity that comes from basically burning down your elusive off of encroaching shadows or using Mark of the Isles on top of flight. It's really fun, it works really well. We see Moon Man. I mean, the thing is, this Hecarim is now ephemeral, so playing him onto the field of play would not be legitimate right now, so we wait. I could technically throw this flight out, but I want to see whether or not they're going to play Lee. I want to see whether or not they're going to play Lee onto this field, because... Okay, they're not going to play Lee onto this field, but they're starting to go aggressive on me. I see your aggressive moves, and I raise you a Dark Water Scourge, which is meaningless to me in the grand scheme of things right now, so I might as well throw it out now, so that you've got that to contend with, because let's face it, that now means that you potentially, it forces more resource to potentially get the Lee Sin, like, drag spells, so you're trying to drag one of my spiders rather than this. So it's more just it's a stall tactic. That's literally all I'm doing right now, is a stall tactic to make sure that you can't make the things that you want to happen. That's the plan. I can then use a Fading Memories on top of this flight. So the idea is going to be play Hecarim, use a Fading Memories on top of flight, and just see how we go. That's going to be the plan. Potential counters and problems and recalls and hoodaboos and all of that jazz, but this should be fine. He says hopingly. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make a Fading Memories of the flight, and then we could even throw a Mark of the Isles down on this flight if we really wanted to. So potential Hush. Oh, Lifesteal. Ooh, Yugi boy. Yugi boy. So smart moves, Yugi. Smart moves. We throw this out, so we get the flight, and then we've got the ability to throw a Mark of the Isles on top of this one. Potential additional Hush move. I mean, they are deep. Shit! Find a Hush! Find Hush! Find Hush! Find Hush! Find Hush! Quick! Quick before it's too late! Find Hush! Which, to be fair, they kind of like need to Hush Hecarim, or they've got problems. I mean, they've already got problems. Like, we've basically got lethal. Like, unless they heal themselves before, like, because basically they can Hush here, but they need to have both. They need to have two Hushes to be able to Hush this as well, because we can Mark of the Isles this one and still Unspeakable Horror their core as well. Like, there's a lot of moves they need to do. The question is, can they do all of them that they need to do? I'll be there in a minute, Metal Biter, and we shall indeed do. Ah, there we go. Smart moves on that point. Smart moves on that point, but he's not hushed, which means that his effect still stays in play in terms of the increased damage. We're also going to be getting a shark off of that, and as I say, I can actually throw this. I want to wait to see what my opponent does in terms of if they throw a Hush on top of one of these or whatnot. I'm actually going to go forward. With all of those things as well, because actually, or do we? I mean, you know, because we're going to be getting a shark anyway, because I'm thinking like the life steal, but at the same point, there's a lot of things that they need to deal with. So let's just throw everyone onto this field of play right now, because that's increased damage there. So it's fine. It's fine. So they need to do a lot of things still. Need to do a lot of things. And or death has come for them. And let's face it, I said I've got an additional point of damage on their core, and I've also got that. So I mean, you're gonna have to do a lot of moves there, my friend. You're gonna have to do a lot of moves. So there we go. There's a heal to core, which means that they could actually, try to get their way around this. Okay, so they can try to get their way around this, but we can at least throw a Mark of the Isles on top of this. Your attack is obvious. Your attack is obvious. I mean, no. You need to do better than that. You have to sacrifice Moon Man. Moon Man is the only way. I mean, there's still, I mean, when your opponent is literally trying to do all the different options, be like, sheet, and then you just go, well, even if you do all of these crazy options, so you try to live there, but then we go, no, we make this guy ephemeral, which does actually mean that he should get the plus bonus from that as well, which means that, yeah, you're still dead, and if other work is needed, we have got an unspeakable horror, so... Let's see. Aha! That's me! You're dead before you're dead before this bitch gets involved! Okay. Shadow mode indeed. Thank you so much. So that works. Do I keep this for banter's sake? Do I be that man? What are we up against? Sometimes, like, you know, like legends are written of heroes who are willing to take the crazy moves that were necessary. Legends are written of those crazy ones who did the moves which no one else dared do. I could actually throw a Mark of the Isles on top of this and then throw this out, like, just for that increased, just for that increased damage of stupidity. I'm actually gonna leave it. But like I could have been that guy. I wait because I'm expecting them to throw down Elise or Kalista at some point, and that's gonna be what's gonna kill them. So I wait. That's the main thing. All we must do. Aha! I see. So one must assume that they've got a glimpse from beyond or some way of killing. There we go. Butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Ah, so that is a significant amount of damage. But I can at least throw like this. Ooh. Okay, I can at least throw this little man in front of things. I'm going to throw her in front of you. Her in front of you, you in front of you, but I'm actually also just going to kill this guy because I'd rather get the draw. They're going very aggressive on me on the early games, but all I can do is see if I can get around this. So I can heal myself, and technically by killing this, right, so here's what we do. Here's how the flight. Here's how we work. We throw you out, so that at least gives me some heals. I mean, potentially, see, I say this is going to be giving me some heals. This potentially might not give me heals, because if they literally use Glimpse and Beyond in front of whoever this goes in front of, they can get round the ability. I actually have to keep this back, because... Actually, no, I don't have to keep this back, because the only things that can trade with it are these big men. So these two are fine. Like, I mean, apart from if they have Mark of the Isles, obviously, but at least I'll be hopefully trading away one of their big men. I'm willing to take that risk. Don't use a glimpse. Don't use a glimpse. Don't do it. Glimpse would be a silly move right now. Glimpse would be a silly move. Don't do it. There we go, it's okay. So at least we heal ourselves. At least we heal ourselves somewhat. And we've also leveled our Kalista, so that's fine. Don't you worry! The pains we must go through! The pains we must go through for our craft, it's fine. The thing which makes this deck interesting is these guys, right? The thing that makes this deck interesting is these guys. Because everyone's a garden. But because literally the ability of, like, they strike and they actually recall to the deck before the ephemeral kills them. It's a really weird interaction, but that's how the interaction goes down. Okay, here's what we do. We wait. Whoever goes for, it's okay. Wait, give me seconds to think through this through my head. Okay, here's how we do it. So the plan is, whoever you grab, so you're going to be grabbing Kalista, let's face it, that's a no-brainer. You grab with the Kalista, which means that I can still defend myself on board. Actually, I guess, do we want to trade? Do you want to trade to give them less options for trading, potentially? And now we just throw you in front of this, and so that should save should save your life. This is your life. There we go. Kalista lives. Okay, so we don't spend any mana. We don't spend any mana. What we're going to do is we're going to go super. I mean, part of me thinking, do I spend some? Like, you know, split it up. No. Shut up a lot. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Right, it's fine. It's fine. Let's throw you out. I need to have somebody who's not going to be affected by the ephemeral stuff. Like, I feel like I need it. But okay, here's what we do. Here's a little lesson in trickery. So we throw this out, which then means that this flight is going to be, like, you know, substantial. We then make a copy of the flight. We then make a copy of the flight with fading memories, and then we shuffle that back into the deck. And slowly but surely, I mean, admittedly, there is potential stuff that our opponent is waiting for, but we do that. So, as I say, technically, the ephemeralness of the situation comes into effect after the strike. So what should happen is these guys will cycle back in. I also get back my lifesteal unit, so come at me, brother. You've got to do something about the terribleness which awaits you. These guys will shuffle themselves back into the deck before dying. So, one hit, back into my deck. See, look, they're going back into the deck instead of just immediately dying. So this is where the flight takes effect. The flight takes effect in this deck in the fact that it literally does not die, and we can give it effect. Oh, and we can get more ephemeral ones out of it. Oh, that's a big boy. That's a significantly big boy. I kind of have to throw you out. I have to throw you out as a defense for the big boy. The big boy come at me. Okay, we do that because basically they might have been considering an atrocity move. So that's why. Sorry, that's why we have to do that. So that's fine. We live. But I mean, yeah, we do that. I feel that sending this guy to the Shadow Realm is going to be massively important. They could play another one, but it's the idea of removing that atrocity move from my opponent. It's very important to do that. So, it's okay. What we do now is we still keep... Oh, we're gonna... Right, there's one flight. But one flight. Two flights. Right, we now just, like, throw... Because they've lost... These ones have lost their ephemeral touch. But, okay, we throw you out first. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Oh, there goes the enough. There's the other. Okay. We have to go big. We throw them all out. Okay, don't worry about it. This is perfectly fine. You know why this is perfectly fine? Because we can throw a Mark of the Isles on top of one of these two. So, or on top of one of these. So, that's already going to be significant. We go forward. I'm gonna actually. This might sound silly, but I'm gonna leave this elusive one back because I still want to be getting my lifesteal. Because basically my lifesteal mean forces them to have to do something about the situation. Although I could just force the BMG in. I'll wait on this to see if I need to move this around. Because they could use a Vile Feast or some form of like attack to remove one of these. Okay, they're still dead. Okay, so they live on 5. So at this point, I might as well just increase like this one's damage. So because like that's going to be going back in anyway. Get them down to 3. Significant draw as well comes off of that. So we're slowly now. The draw is starting to happen off of the flight mechanics, and that is now meaning that we're keeping ourselves in an okay situation, even though our whole deck is ephemeral. Other than the flights that keep coming back. I mean, it's not over yet. I mean, I can't like what is it? Have they got the atrocity move? Is the plan? Okay. If I throw Hecarim out, Hecarim does give me those lifesteal minions, right? If I throw this out, it gives me all those lifesteal minions, which means that if they go forward, I'm going to be taking damage, but then also healing. I don't actually know if this is going to be enough to heal me. I honestly don't know if this is going to be enough to heal me, but I have to do it because I have no other plans. So I have to do this. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I survive. It's a shame. Potentially. Oh my god, I still live! I live! Potential atrocity move. Potential atrocity move from my opponent, which I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be big. Oh, crap. Is that, I still live. I mean, I live, but not well. I mean, I'm not lying. That should have been the move that killed me. I mean, one atrocity and I'm done. Like, literally, one atrocity and this is done. I immediately go forward. I don't want to give... I mean, the thing is, if they've got the atrocity move, they've got the atrocity move. There's literally nothing I can do about that. But I have to do this because it makes it look like I might have other moves, Yugi. I don't have other moves. Don't have the atrocity move. Please don't have the atrocity. Don't do it. Don't you do this to me. Don't you do it. No! Oh, if only I had atrocity myself. If I had atrocity to throw things in your core. How do you let me get so far and yet crush me at the end? GG. Shed emote indeed. Shed emote. The fact we lived through such a big man attack and then oof at the end. So I'm curious. I'm curious to know what the plans are. Is this gonna be a possession deck, which he then uses Bayou Brunch with? Is that gonna be? I made that deck a very long time ago. I did not run a Maokai in that deck though, so this is quite interesting. A long time ago, in a galaxy far away. So I'm gonna throw out Hapless.
Where are you?
Flight going into Mark of the Isles, just so that we can start the Hecarim journey. Long time ago, in a galaxy far away, Nabu was under an attack. I'm not gonna bother to trade this because right now I prefer to have Kalista on the board with this one. So we go forward and then Mark of the Isles on top of the flight. Force in more damage. If you go for trying to kill you, the Mark of the... I knew it! As Doomsayer would say in Hearthstone, I knew it! But yeah, then you shuffle back into our deck. Shuffle back into the deck, so that's perfectly fine. 4 damage, helping Hecarim, and drawing Hecarim, but also the fact that you just shuffled back into my deck. We could even encroach... I mean, there you are. I could actually Encroaching Shadows. I'd rather get a Kalista on the board. I'd rather get a Kalista on the board before using the Encroaching Shadows. So, get you on the board. I wish that I had 1 extra point of mana right now. I honest to God wish I had 1 extra point of mana, because if I did, I would just totally be using it. I mean, I can kill you at least. I'd be using it to use this, but I feel like let's just throw you out. Potential problems again for you, but if you die, then you know, opens up a Black Spear option if I wanted it. Come on. Let him live. Let him live. Look at my Birdman. It's so majestic. He deserves to live. Okay. We go forward. I love some Weird Al, yeah. Oh, but yes, no, I was actually singing Weird. I completely forgot I was actually singing Weird Al there. But yes, no, it's the Star Wars Weird Al. I also like Amish Paradise.
Please, I have connections.
Been spending most of life living in an Amish paradise. I jump on it once or twice, living in an Amish paradise. I mean, we wait, and the plan's going to be use Unspeakable. I mean, technically, they might even just go for an eat. They might even just go for an eat on Kalista with Tom Kench. Like, that's also an option. Think you're really righteous? Think you're pure of heart? Well, I know I'm a million times as humble as thou art. I'm the pious guy, the little obelisk wanna be like on my knees day and night scoring points for the afterlife. Okay, that's fine. What I can do is I can throw... I just want to have more things on the board to defend myself with. But I need to be keeping the Unspeakable Horror move option open. So, potential hit... Actually, no, there's no heals. There's no heals, but there are potential problems. I would prefer to not allow you to eat somebody and potentially level Kalista. Okay, we do this first, and we see what happens from this point. So we do that. Ha! There's the heal move. Okay, that now makes what's his face make sense, right? That makes Maokai make sense because there's the toss mechanic in there. Okay, I literally cannot get past this. I sadly cannot get past it, but it's honestly a really smart move. It's a really smart move, and that's the reason why they run him. Now it makes sense. I was wondering, how the hell does he fit into all of this? That's how he fits into all of this. I love it. It's insane, and I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna throw Kalista out again. Potentially, as I said, like, you know, I'm opening up options for her to be eaten, which is a little bit not what I'm after, but at the same point, somebody's gonna get eaten, right? Okay, so I can do increased damage, because basically every single thing that we're doing right now is to try and get Hecarim so that he levels. Like I wish that I had one of the, you know what I should have done? I should have used Moon Weapon to get Calibrum. Oh god, sorry, to use Crescendum to be able to get what's his face, the shark. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. I should have been aiming to get my shark out, because that's actually the whole purpose of having the moon weapon in the deck, is that it's used to get the Tigos. But our opponent is working mainly off of eating us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that away and just go with sod it. Sod it. We're just gonna go big. Okay. So we can get his. So we have another shark, right? So here's what we do. We use the Oblivious Islander to trick out the. I mean, he might actually be too fair with his health. There's not really many ways to heal Tom Kench from this, other than potentially using what's his face, the Bayou Brunch or the Chronicler. That's the words I was trying to. It took me so long to think of the word Chronicler.
Well, it was fresh.
Okay, that's fine. You can grab that. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time with that. Have a good time with that, my friend. But we throw Chariot Shark out. We then throw out Gifts from Beyond so that we can get another Chariot Shark on the board. And then we're going to be basically, next turn, immediate, like, we throw Hecarim out. Potential vengeance from our opponent. I will admit that could be problematic. Part of me's now thinking, do I hold back on my ability to at least play this card, so that, because basically if I do it now, it's going to die now. If I wait, at least it's going to be on my attack turn. I feel like it's a smarter move is to wait, because there could be a vengeance, there could be a ruination move. There's like a number of things that our opponent could just throw down. So we want to leave our options open to like not have to worry about like certain things that our opponent might play. But I'm loving whatever the idea is. That's going on. Seems to be a lot of things that are working with Death to work with Maokai here. I'm not seeing much of the Tom Kench energy at the moment. Obviously, Bayou Brunch, as I say. Throw you out first. Going into Calibrum because it's meaningless because we have no Moon Man. Moon Man. I'm expecting a. Actually, they can't use Ruination. So we go forward. They can't. They can still use a Vengeance. They can still use a Vengeance, but they can't use a Ruination. And then we just immediately go forward. We're going to be forcing our opponent to have to react. Protect our grove as we immediately go forward. Forcing our opponent to act. That is what we're going to be doing here. That's the whole aim. Admittedly, our Hecarim is ephemeral, so he's going to die. Like, even though it gives the initial buff, he has to his buff is an aura. So the second that he dies, these ones are not going to have this additional attack stat anymore. So, kind of bad for that, but also we are just trying to force our opponent now into a state. Okay, they're going. So much toss and heals. So that it's so that they can throw. Okay. I mean, at this point, it's like they want to be keeping Tree Man. I mean, they've nearly got to the point of obliterating my deck. The only plus side is that I'm going to get Kalista back. Yeah, Plus side is getting Kalista back at this point. Okay. We do that. We accept the fate. So they're healing themselves. I mean, oh my god, they didn't do the thing, calculate the heals properly. So actually, they were already dead. If the heals had been like I mean, you know, it's fine. This has all worked out perfectly fine. Don't you worry. I'm pretty sure that you win. I was not even thinking about the fact that the overwhelm damage was going in. They were dead no matter what. Don't worry about it. So that is the Flying Death deck. Actually a really funny deck. There's definitely different ways you can build this. There's definitely probably ways of optimizing this a lot better than what I did. It's just this is the way that I like playing it. But please let me know if you run this deck, how it goes for you, as well as if you make any changes. Let me know down in the comment section down below. As I said, this was actually inspired from Shane from Twin Suns. So make sure you give them some love if you do enjoy this so much. There's also, as I said, the links down below for Twitch and Twitter and Instagram. I said on Twitch, I'm live on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If you want to come catch that action live, there's also the Discord link down below. There is a games night and a movie night that we do monthly in this. If you want to get on mic and play some games or watch some terrible films together, feel free to. As well as the fact there is the merch link down below, like the lovely ASOL top that I'm wearing. But do not feel forced about that. That's just if you. I love Legends of Runeterra so much, I just wanted to wear it. And if you want to as well, then the option is there for you. Thank you all so much for the support. I have already, so my end of year goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers and followers on YouTube and Twitch. We are getting, like, we're already past 2,000, so honestly thank you all so much for the support. Honestly, it means so much to me. Like, I'm just a crazy mustachioed man, so the fact that anyone gives me the time of day, honestly, thank you so much. All the options I said are down below, but thank you. I shall see you later for some more reveals, and until next time, bye.
Flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.